A lot of business owners try to solve everything at once, but in reality, not every problem matters equally. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the theory of constraints and I'm going to show you how you can strategically prioritize the problems in your business. Put simply, the theory of constraints is a framework for improving systems. It states that every system has a limiting factor or a constraint that determines how fast or well it can perform. And if you want to grow, don't optimize everything, just fix the constraint. Okay, and I'm going to give you some concrete examples in this video, so just bear with me here. So the core principle is a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And since your business is effectively a chain of interdependent processes, marketing, sales, delivery, operations, finance, one of them is always holding the entire system back. Okay, so let's check out this quick visual to really drive this home. Let's imagine that your business looks like this pipeline here. At the top, we have inputs. At the bottom, we have outputs. At the top, we could call these inputs units of value. These are things like time, energy, leads, anything that's going to go into your business that we ultimately want to convert to cash. Now, the rate at which your business generates money through sales is going to be called throughput. And the throughput of your system is going to be determined by its tightest constraint. So if we look at this system right here and imagine that these units are actually just water flowing through this pipe. The speed at which water flows through the pipe is going to be determined by how large the pipe is. So at the top, we have a pretty wide interface here, so it's going to flow through nicely. And then we get to our first constraint right here. This is obviously going to limit throughput. Okay, so let's tie this to business. Imagine that these are leads, and at the bottom we want to convert these leads into sales or into money. So we drop these leads into our system, they make their way through, and then they hit our constraint. Since they hit this constraint at the end of our system, only one lead is converted into an actual sale. Now at this point, most business owners will look at their system and think that in order to get more sales or to make more money, they just need more leads. But that's simply not the case. In order to get more sales, we need to improve the sales conversion process or the frequency at which leads are converted into sales. Once we identify that the constraint exists at the point of sales conversion, we then elevate that constraint or improve it. And when I say improve it, I simply mean widen the constraint or increase the throughput in that particular area of your business. This is going to increase our sales conversion rate and thereby contribute to our bottom line. So step one is to identify the constraint. We want to find the single biggest bottleneck that's limiting output or growth within our business. In the previous example, that constraint was in the sales conversion process. So that's where we should focus our time. After we've identified our constraint, we want to exploit it. This means that we need to maximize the performance of the bottleneck using what we already have. So in our case here, we are having issues with the sales conversion process. In order to exploit the bottleneck, we need more sales assets or maybe testimonials. Anything that's going to convert more leads into paying customers. As we exploit this constraint, we want to subordinate everything else. By this, we mean that we want to align all other processes to support the alleviation of this constraint. So to tie this back to our previous example, we need to focus all of our efforts on removing this sales conversion constraint. No amount of leads is going to help us here because the amount of leads that we actually convert into paying customers is very low. So actually getting a lot of leads in this period in our business is going to hurt us more than it would help us because these leads aren't being converted into paying customers as frequently as they could be. Next, we need to elevate the constraint. So we need to add new resources, automations, or systems that permanently remove or alleviate the bottleneck. Lastly, repeat this process. So once one constraint is broken, a new one inevitably appears. Thus is the process of growth. You could think of growth as a continuous process of finding and fixing constraints. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Like, subscribe, and holla at your boy.